This bulletin protocol breach should not have happened. Fever clinics reactivated. And Term 1 school holiday begin. And Renaka Fiji. The breach in protocol in relation to the 53-year-old woman now testing positive for COVID-19 should not have happened. The Prime Minister, while stressing this, highlighted that Fiji is faced with danger and the breach should not be repeated. The woman, who was working as a maid in a border quarantine facility, developed symptoms last Thursday but continued working and failed to notify authorities. Pranita Prakash reports.
The woman who tested positive for COVID-19 this morning has a highly transmissible case.
Our investigation has revealed that she had an interaction with the soldier when he showed up early to his room as it was being cleaned. Protocol dictates that overlap should not have happened. That is why this woman was not tested before re-entering the public.
The woman travelled between Nandi and Lotoka and also attended a funeral in Tavakumbu Friday and Saturday.
Her movement using public transport and her attendance in close proximity alongside many other Fijians at the two-day funeral makes further transmissions in the community highly likely.
The team in the West have shown us a boundary that they have maintained, and they will be going through that group as part of their screening program.
To limit the risk of mass transmission, the government has established containment area in Lotoka and Nandi from Geleloa towards Singatoka, Vakambuli and the YY crossing bearing towards Ba. The Ministry of Health and the personnel from the discipline forces are establishing screening points in these areas. Pranita Prakash, FBC News.
The Health Ministry has reactivated fever clinics to screen those who may develop COVID-19-like symptoms. Mobile screening will be done in the Central and Northern Divisions. Koroi Tandolala has more.
The Ministry of Health has already put in place certain COVID measures within the lockdown area.
We have set up a number of screening spots, both fixed and mobile, that we will then keep searching for cases within the containment zone.
Prime Minister Vorenge Bainimarama says it is necessary for those who may have developed any symptoms to visit the nearest fever clinic.
We are reactivating that network of screening clinics across the country to keep with those COVID-like symptoms away from vulnerable people who visit health centers and into the separate, dedicated spaces especially designed to effectively identify possible COVID-19 cases.
The Permanent Secretary for Health also highlighted the need for Fijians to pick up their COVID habits that led to the containment of the virus last year.
As I said, the 2-meter distance, putting on your face mask, especially within the containment area, your hand sanitization work, all need to be things that we will have to escalate towards.
The government is calling on all Fijians to continue practicing social distancing, avoid large gathering and practice COVID-safe measures to ensure the virus is contained. Koroi Tandolala, FBC News.
All schools will be closed from today for the next 3 weeks. This is a precautionary measure against COVID-19 and the recent cases, as the Education Ministry says the safety and well-being of all children and teachers are paramount. All parents are urged to encourage good hygiene practices at home and to ensure the movement of their children is restricted. Government-subsidized student aid transport cards will be restricted during this period.
School boarders will return to where they reside. If they are in the containment area and need to return home outside of the area, they will be allowed to live in a highly controlled manner.
The Love Our Locals campaign has benefited many hotels. However, occupancy rates continue to fluctuate. The Fiji Hotel and Tourism Association says some of its members have enjoyed 100% occupancy during long weekends, while others continue to struggle. Koroi Tandolala reports.
Extra staff were called in by most hotels as they tried to cater for the demand from locals during weekends.
On the Coral Coast, many of those large properties have reported that they enjoyed 70 to 100% occupancy. Not every single hotel provided their full rooms to make them all available, but those that did said that they enjoyed full occupancy.
Pentasha Lockington adds the employees are called in based on the occupancy.
So you can see you have suddenly everybody's working and then you don't have anybody coming to stay, so you have to let your people go home.
Tourism Minister Fayaz Koya is reminding Fijians to get vaccinated.
The most important thing to remember is everybody needs to get registered and vaccinated.
The FHTA says Fijians now have a lot of options as the hoteliers are working hard to provide good deals under the Love Our Locals campaign. Corritan Tulala, FBC News.
A good number of farmers in Overlau are now investing in yasi or sandalwood farming. Viro village elder Tangilala Tukana says sandalwood is amongst the most demanding commodity in the local and international markets. Tukana adds they are planting yasi now, which will benefit the future generation. Most farmers are now planting yasi. It will soon become the most viable product and generates thousands of dollars for farmers. I believe more farmers need to invest in this farming practice. The world is struggling to contain COVID-19, with some countries in the grips of a third wave. The World Health Organization is warning the world is approaching the highest rate of infection so far. This report from News Hub.
In Germany, Chancellor Angela Merkel attended a solemn ceremony to commemorate the country's nearly 80,000 victims. Prosperous, developed Europe is still grappling with a lethal third wave of the pandemic. The exception is Britain, one of the world leaders in vaccinations. Its strict lockdown, in effect since Christmas, is finally easing, and deaths and new cases are both in decline. Another wealthy country struggling with a COVID surge is Canada. Medical services are under strain, and in Toronto and Ottawa, children's hospitals opened up their ICUs to adults. Until Canada manages to ramp up its vaccinations, the outlook is dire. India is another global hotspot. An overstretched medical system is facing shortages of oxygen and drugs, as India recorded more than 200,000 new corona cases for the 9th day in a row. The other persistent hotspot is Brazil, where there is an ominous trend. In fact, for the very first time, the majority of patients in ICU are under 40. Extra contagious variants may be to blame, but one thing is clear. More Brazilians are dying of COVID every day than anywhere else on Earth.
Overhead core games moved. And more work for Tailevo. Stay with us. Welcome back. With all sporting events shelved for the next 2 weeks, organizers of the Kokula Games have come up with a backup plan. The Fiji Secondary School Athletics Association is hoping to have the Fiji Finals in August. Aquila Dama with the details.
These athletes will now have to wait a little longer for the Coca-Cola Games.
Major events on the calendar over the next 14 days, including the Coca-Cola Games, university graduations and rugby matches, will have to be cancelled.
However, the school's athletics association has a plan B.
Thought about deferring the games to the 19th, 20th, 21st August. But given the last briefing by the Prime Minister, we are hopeful that by then everything will be back to normal.
Major sponsors Coca-Cola has confirmed they have booked the ANZ Stadium for the August dates.
When lives matters, that's all that matters. And I'm sure every single parent and athlete and child will understand what we're trying to do. We're trying to safeguard lives here. We're trying to fight the unseen enemy, which has been battling around the world.
However, Tikaram adds everything will depend on how we get through the current situation. Aquila Dama, FBC Sports.
Round 7 of the Digicel Premier League has been postponed to the weekend of 8th and 9th May. The Fiji Football Association has confirmed that all football competitions has been postponed for the next 14 days. Fiji FA Chief Executive Muhammad Yusuf confirms all competitions, including the Digicel Premier League, Senior League, Women's Super and Senior League, have all been deferred. Development programs have also been placed on hold.
Fiji FA will is now thinking of resuming and playing the 7th round, the last round of the first leg of Digicel matches on the weekend of 8th and 9th, which is just a week prior to the Digicel Fiji Fact.
Scoring the winning goal against Suva yesterday was a proud moment for Lambasa midfielder Aikimi Ralulu. The 23-year-old scored his first ever goal for the Northerners since joining the team in 2018. Ralulu says the goal was even more special knowing the team needed the win to go a level up on the points table.
I feel good. It was my first goal since I started playing for Lambasa, and it was a proud moment for me and my teammates.
The Televo rugby team will want to improve on a few areas before facing Narunga in round 3 of the Skipper Cup Provincial Cup. After going down to Northland last weekend, coach Serma Yembai admits they need to make better on field decisions. Talema Terrekula has more.
After the loss to Northland, the players' mental fitness is a concern.
Few areas is knowledge around where you need to be on the field. I think that, the bigger bodies where we need to sift the ball. Probably the knowledge and we just want to play smart rugby.
The team will need to relook at their style of play when they face Narunga next.
We're trying to change the mindset of just being a defending team. We want to attacking team by defending and a mindset where you get the ball back. But it takes a lot of energy.
Northland, on the other hand, needed the win, and the tactical changes was worth it.
It was a must win for us playing against Televo. So I thank the boys, thank my men. We changed the team totally because we brought in the experienced players because we really needed this win.
Both teams will use this week to rectify their mistakes before the next round of competition on the 1st of next month. Talema Terrekula, FBC Sports.
A mixture of sun and clouds are in the forecast for this morning. There is a slight chance of some scattered showers by late afternoon. That's FBC Morning News. Join us at 7 p.m. for our major bulletin. For news you can trust, get the facts from FBC's TV, radio and digital news at fbcnews.com.fj. Take care and good morning.